Hi, this is Brett and Jenn from the Early Learning Coalition. We're here again today to talk to you about you and your children. Remember our brain. Everything revolves around our brain. And so recently there's been lots of research about what's best for kids at this point in time. So I want to share some of those things today. And of course, they all revolve around our brain and how our children are feeling in relation to these different sections of our brain. Are they feeling safe? And if they're feeling safe, that's primary. If they're feeling safe, we can work from there because they can begin to think, right? Are they feeling loved and heard? And I bet they are because they've been home with you. And they're feeling valued and they're feeling self-confident about their abilities. And then finally, if all of that's taking place, then they're up here in their green frontal cortex and ready to do some powerful learning, right? So it was interesting in what the experts all had to say about the most important things to do. And the very first thing they said was those three things, and that you must take care of you. That of primary importance in this whole scenario is how are you feeling, how are you faring, and what are you doing to take care of you. So hopefully you are doing those things. Secondly, they suggested that we need to keep all those social connections that we have. And understandably, most of them are happening over screens like this, or your phone, or maybe you have a wonderful community that you can speak to across the yards and or front porches, which they also said, if possible, that's a great thing to take kids outside and let them greet people and be spokespeople and say, wow, isn't this fun? That we can connect in all these various ways. To make cards, to even suggested making posters that you can put in the windows of your house to encourage people, to give people support, to rally around the flagpole, right? Also, they suggested mind breaks, and we've talked a lot about that. Remember this, when we take deep breaths and we make our toys rise and fall. And for little infants and toddlers, remember they feel this stress too. So they need those breaks. They need to play. They need to laugh. They need to get outside. All of those things are vital. Another point they made was that children need a sense of control because the world is kind of frightening. So we need to do things that give them a sense of control, like maybe household chores or writing cards to friends or putting the posters in the window or solving problems, that we begin to teach them about solving problems. What do we have to do when we solve problems? Well, we have to stop and think and choose an idea and try it out and see what happens. So sometimes we create little solution kits. And those solution kits have different ideas of things we can do when we face problems. And so maybe in your family you create a solution kit. And you find a time to talk about problems and feelings every day. You create a space where that happens. It might be when we first come home and we have snacks around a table, or it might be as we clean up from dinner, or maybe not before we go to bed is probably not the best thing. But to have a time, family huddle, where we all get together and share what's been going on, right? And share our feelings. And also what's important is movement. Getting outside and moving and playing and dancing is vital to the integration of our body, the integration of both sides of our brain, and just good mental health. There are lots of resources now on the web for free. Things like mindspace.com and calm.com and Cosmic Kids. that all have ideas and activities and fun things you can do with your kids to relax and breathe and feel in control, which kids need to do. We also have steps that we can do to calm our bodies, which revolve around that breathing. And we have the idea of story making and puppet making, because through puppets and through the creation and acting out of stories, we can take a problem and we can tame it by naming it and putting it into a story and creating a book. And that gives me a little bit of history and something that is mine and something that I can share with others. So those are a few of their suggestions, and I will share more next week. Thanks so much.